stand before you this morning doing things a little out of order to share some sad news, but also I want to know that we shared the news together that longtime Sept employee Gary Sutton passed away yesterday in the morning. Sept was his home. He served this school, lived at this school, and loved this school for 50 years. And what I'd like us to do this morning is remember him through one of his favorite parts of Sept by celebrating his life, sharing his stories. Mr. Cody and I yesterday sat down and talked about our favorite Gary Sutton stories. Please share his stories with each other. Lean on one another. Your faculty are here to support you if you have any questions or thoughts, but we are going to celebrate his life with song, the sharing of stories, and sticking together in true Sept fashion. So, Mr. Martin?
I will sing his favorite, Jerusalem.
You may be seated. I just want to say, Mr. Sutton was a cool kid. Good morning. Good morning. Today is September 24th. It's Tuesday, and it is an F day on your schedule. Today for lunch is Cobb salad. This is just yes. I forgot. Please do not. This is just a reminder that students who drive to school, they have to park on the other side of the parkway, not on the school side. Robot Theater Group 2, please meet in Mr. Mink's room, 2nd and 3rd lunch. Robot Theater Group 1, meet also to take care of last minute details for tomorrow. This is also an announcement from Red Key that Red Key students can sign out posters to hang up, but you just have to go see the sponsor first. And now we have a senior presentation by Julia Beck.
I run some clubs, take some classes, and in general, I do the most. While a lot of the time I dress like a sack, I think you could probably assume from my passive-aggressive power walks through the halls that I have places to be and many responsibilities. If you haven't been taking classes with me for the last month, year, or 4 years, by now you could assume that 1, I take school pretty seriously, and 2, I'm an overachiever. So, when literally last week I got stuck with this date for my senior presentation, you could assume I had some trouble. When I talk about my battle with being extra, maybe how overrated the College Board is, shout out to my AP Lang essay. Maybe I would make you sit here for 5 to 7 minutes while I discussed my traumatic childhood, my dad's affair, and my parents' messy divorce that I've been in the middle of for the last 3 years. It would have been a rager. But no, after several subpar drafts and at least half of a mental breakdown, I decided to return to my original idea, explaining the time I hit absolute rock bottom. So, buckle up, because you're about to hear me publicly humiliate myself for the remaining 4 minutes, and it won't happen again. Also, on a serious note, easily grossed out, feel free to leave for the next few minutes and get a drink of water. So, as all good stories begin, there's some background. For kindergarten through elementary school, I went to a small, private Catholic school. In 5th grade, there were about 45 people in my class. Now, like most schools, when one person gets sick with a contagious virus, literally everyone gets sick with it. Because, in my personal opinion, 5th graders are gross, slimy creatures that don't understand the appeal of personal space and hygiene. Additionally, it's worth mentioning that my birthday is December 20th, right before winter break, and the perfect date for the annual Christmas Spectacular. So, with this huge event coming up, every grade of unwilling participants was dressed up in tinsel and satin and subjected to months of dancing and singing classes, all in preparation for a cheesy show meant to guilt parents into donating their money. What's not to love? Attendance was mandatory, and after months of practicing, pretty much everyone was already willing to come in for their chance at stardom. On this particular year, however, not one but 2 people in my grade missed the extravaganza, an unheard of scenario that boggled the minds of many. Their excuse? The stomach flu. However, that's besides the point, because on this day, I was feeling healthy, happy, and excited. Because for all I knew, a Disney Channel scout could be looking on from the audience, and I'd be on my way to Hollywood by the end of the day. That morning, I went about my day as usual, accepting the many happy birthdays with thanks, and slaying the Christmas show, per usual. Afterwards, I went out to lunch, spent a day shopping with my mom, and went home, where I crashed on the couch for several hours. Later in the evening, drowsy from my nap, I got ready for my birthday party. This year, in a very mature fashion, I decided to have my birthday dinner at a fancy, upscale restaurant in a private room that my parents secured. In attendance were my grandparents, sister, and the one lucky friend I chose to invite. So, I put on my fanciest black maxi skirt, overlined my eyes with dark black eyeliner, and headed over to the restaurant, paying little mind to my flushed cheeks, feverish temperature, and that looming feeling of vomiting. You know the one. At the restaurant, we settled in for drinks, allowing my guests to arrive and giving me the prime opportunity to soak up the spotlight. However, as I sat there, taking it all in, I got that feeling. You know the feeling. The one where your stomach feels like it's being stabbed by 1,000 knives, and if you move in any certain direction, you might actually poop yourself. So, I'm sitting there, in a fancy restaurant, surrounded by people, a slight sweat starting to drip down my face, and I realized that I was about to have the worst experience of my life. I looked to my mom, hoping she'd read my panic-stricken face, as I tell her I'm running to the bathroom, literally running. I get out of my seat, wobble slightly on shaky legs, and before all hell breaks loose, I make a mad dash. I make it about halfway to the bathroom before, you guessed it, I vomited in the middle of the main hallway of this super fancy restaurant. Not knowing what to do, I looked both ways, hoping to find someone to help me. But the hallway was deserted, and I had another storm coming. In a panic, I abandoned the vomit and continued to the bathroom. But I'm too late, and this stomach flu was no joke. So yes, I crap myself. In the middle of the main hallway of a ridiculously fancy and exclusive restaurant. A few options left, I crawl my way to the bathroom. I lost all hope and spent the next 5 minutes, felt like 2 hours, sobbing on the toilet while I simultaneously destroy it from both ends. So, eventually, my mom comes to the rescue and comes into the bathroom. find me in a crying mess. She probably does the most mom thing I've ever seen her do and helps me clean myself up and settle down. After all of this, though, she still asks the question, "Are you sure you want to go home?" As if I wasn't sitting in a pile of my own vomit. So, I leave my party. We walked out of the restaurant, passing by my puke, which has now been politely covered up by a napkin, said goodbye to my friend who decided to stay, and go home, where I proceeded to spend the next 2 days battling out the most vengeful stomach flu I have ever experienced. I also waited another 2 or 3 years before finally admitting to my mom that, in her haste to rescue me from the bathroom, she unknowingly flushed a pair of my underwear down the toilet as a super fancy mess. Sorry, not sorry. For most of my life, the idea of publicly humiliating myself in such a dramatic fashion would keep me up at night. I would watch the clock tick by every morning as I looked at my khaki skirt and collared shirt reflecting back at me, struggling to find the motivation to go to school where I felt so out of place. I lived most of my life horribly self-conscious, wondering what people might be thinking and saying about me behind my back. As I worked through the traumatic life experience people call middle school, I also had to watch my family I cried everything. Rather than express the constant struggle going on at home, I shut down emotionally and pulled away from my friends and family. I channeled all of my anxiety into school because it was the one constant that couldn't kill me. I suppressed my pain with humor and distracted myself with textbooks, homework, and extracurriculars. I thought that if I could be the hardest working person in the class or the best leader at school, I could find some sort of happiness. However, through my cliche journey of self-discovery, I realized that I don't need validation from others, just grades. I'm kidding. But I'm still super self-conscious. I just wear hoodies every day instead of a khaki skirt, and if I feel like I'm going to throw up, I stay home. Except when Sam forgets that I have allergies and I puke in a recycling bin. Shout out to Miss Miller's poetry class. Although I have come to realize that if I could walk out of a fancy restaurant, puke on their carpet at all, I could do pretty much anything. Thank you.
School record in the 500-meter freestyle. The athlete of the week is freshman Natalie Frisch. We're going to be watching the best movie, which is Moana. And we're also going to be eating Hawaiian pizza. About why Hawaiian pizza is great, just ask Harley. I wrote an essay about it. Yeah. She has scientific evidence. She'll convince you. It's great. So everyone is invited. And I would especially recommend that the freshmen go because Moana will be making many appearances as an example in your English class. Because it's the best movie ever. So 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock, 6 to 9. Right? And over. Yeah. So if you're a day student and you'd like to come, just maybe let Pam's right now so that we can let Chef Tom know how many people will be sampling the delicious pizza. Cool. See you there, guys. Yeah. They're going to be sending out another form for you to fill out because we need
state.
Yeah, it's against Sacred Heart, so come support us. Yay.
If you're in Babel, you should have gotten an email already, but we're meeting today during second and third lunch to discuss part 1 of House Meet of Dawn by N. Scott London. And also, if you're not on the email list for Babel and you would like to be, or if you're on it and you want to be taken off, just let me know. Thank you.